And I was hoping with the early tee time that I could put out a hot number and so they could be like, all right, Paige is here to play.
But I'm not expect myself to play this good tomorrow, because this is just like, somehow I'm very surprising. I can throw -7. Missed the putt here and there, but come on, you cannot just like make every putt out there. 5, 3, 4, 6, 7 down, anything can happen. You don't know. Maybe the second car can just like shot like 12 down tomorrow. So keep the eye on.
Weird. I mean, it's great. I'm very happy. But to start off with like a double bogey right off the bat, and I know this course, it requires a lot of accuracy and, kind of controlled distance, or you have to make putts.
Well, Glendoveer has been one of my favorite courses since I started coming out here because of the trees. These trees have been here probably longer than the course, I feel like even the ball golf course. So there's a lot of energy in every single one of these trees out here. So I'm trying to absorb as much as they'll give me and trying to just go forward.
Hello and welcome to round 2 of 4 of the 2024 Portland Open presented by Latitude 64. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Honk.
Back at the West Course where anything can happen according to OWN, which, man, I love that mentality. If you watched yesterday, you'll know this is a very long course, very demanding. Controlled distance, as Missy said, is a really good way to put it.
Yeah, this is the second round. Tomorrow we go to the East Course, so it's the last time we get a chance at the West Course, which the two geese are very thankful for.
Very.
OWN might like it here, but it's a very, I think Erika called it grueling course yesterday, but it's fine if you're 86% fairway hits, 72 circle 2 in regulation. Wow, and making all those putts.
Yep, Cat Mertsch, 90% fairway hits, 88% circle 2 in regulation, geez, and 69% C1X putting, so we can probably see her bump that up a little bit.
Missy Gannon, 82% of the time in the fairway, 67% of the holes. She's at least in circle 2 putting, making 75% of her circle 1X putts. Mm-hmm. She sure was.
She's doing it. Paige Pierce, 86% fairway hits, 67% circle 2 in regulation, and 75% C1X putting. And this is her first lead card since last year, Des Moines. First 2024 lead card. Thanks, Statmando.
Coming back.
Hole 1's a par 4, 699 feet. Really nice to start off with a downhill shot. There's OB on the left that can come into play, especially if you're throwing a backhand that flexes out too early. I like the sidearm personally. Second shot is so risky if you're trying to attack this green. Look at this crazy looking bunker with these weird little islands that are not in fact inbounds. All of that is hazard. OB green to the left, OB bunker behind, perched on the teeniest little ant mound. Looks cute, is deadly. Don't see a lot of birdies here.
We're going to immediately do a chase card check-in with Sophia Dunica from Canada. We butchered her name all day yesterday, but we're going to kill it today.
Thank you for sending the voice memo, Sophia.
Sophia,
what a putt to start.
Yeah, on hole 2. This one's a tough par 3. She makes a circle 2 putt to go under par.
Also checking in with Emily Weatherman. Also got the 2 on hole 2. It looks like here she is on hole 3. It's kind of a wide swinging hyzer of a hole that's pretty short, just inside circle 2. But looks like a wide open look at this elevated pin.
She's sending it.
Oh, yeah, she is. That's a huge putt.
And 2 down through 3 on the West Course is a dream.
You see how far she had to run? Look, she's still going.
Welcome back to the 2024 Portland Open presented by Latitude 64. We are here for the lead card of the FPO division at lovely Glendoveer Golf and Tennis. Let's make some noise. Up first on the tee out of Los Angeles, California, sponsored by Innova Champion Discs and Grip Equipment, leading the tournament at 7 under. Give it up for OWN, Scoggins.
OWN got 3rd place last year, tied for 3rd. She has the record on the East Course. Probably, I mean, I guess technically 7 down is the record on the West Course in this kind of new format that we have. So just a machine out there, really.
Up next on the tee, throwing Innova discs and carrying a Squatch bag, out of Rosebud, Arkansas, Cat Mertsch.
Cat Mertsch threw the disc so well yesterday, better than anyone in the field. Let's see if she can replicate that performance today.
88% circle 2 is
Unreal.
crazy.
Looking like a black widow out there today. And this
Wow.
is unbelievable.
Unleashed. It's a metal flake katana.
No
as far as I've
fear.
ever seen a shot go on hole 1.
Yeah.
Box, sponsored by Discraft and Grip Equipment, out of Beacon, New York. Give it up for Missy Gannon.
So I think if I appreciate the trees more, I will throw farther, is what I just learned.
Yeah. Missy Gannon, always been a little bit seemingly like more of a conservative player, but she's just unleashing distance. Yesterday, we watched her throw some huge, very accurate shots on the par threes that are tough to get, and she's out the gate with a giant turnover shot. These are aggressive for hole 1. I love to see it.
And our next competitor rounding out this star-studded card is sponsored by Discraft and OTB out of Pensacola, Florida. Help me wish her a happy birthday to Paige.
Pretty cool to be on lead card on your birthday.
Yeah, especially for the first time in a long time. What a sweet little treat.
Hopefully she also has some cupcakes or something, you know, for the mid-round sugar boost. And that's a nice looking shot, a little more to the right than Missy and Kat's, but that's going to be good distance. Yesterday, Own did just lay this up. And she is again today. Just doesn't feel worth it.
Yeah, out of all the holes to attack, this one is just not the one. I don't think we had any birdies yesterday.
I have a feeling we're going to see some attempts, though. Paige out of position, going to lay up. But Kat and Missy's are two of the best drives I've seen. It'll be interesting to see if they choose to go for it.
Sorry, we had one birdie yesterday, Annika Sten, with maybe a bit of a throw-in.
What do we think? Going for it. It's a fast speed disc.
Yes, it is. She's going to work her way up the right side. There is out of bounds over there, but as long as you land near the base of this tree, you're safe.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh,
man.
Bummer. I really like the line. It was kind of like as conservative as you could go with that aggressive shot. Cat Mertsch going standstill forehand over the hazard bunker. Oh, and absolutely
man.
parks it.
That's amazing. Kat, one of only 2 people to land in circle 1, and she's parked. Out of the entire field, 6 people landed circle 2 or closer. So really impressive to see Kat right under the basket, and pretty normal to see what Own and Paige are doing here, laying up their third.
This played as the hardest hole yesterday. Is that still true today?
Yep, it averaged at 0.81 over par. Missy makes good for her par with the OB hazard stroke. Yep, there were only 2 birdies today.
Who else got it?
I guess we can go ahead.
Oh,
and
well,
call.
okay.
We can go
Missy,
ahead.
I mean,
She's parked.
Or sorry, Kat is parked.
Yeah.
Missy's felt like a birdie. Okay, you're right. Don't spoil it. There we go. Look, she
Okay,
got it.
We spoiled it.
She
Wow.
got it.
And Holland Hanley also got the 3.
Cool.
56% of the field bogeyed that one. Whew, what a tough starter hole.
Cat Mertsch immediately going to tie it up with Own, and they have 2 strokes over Emily Weatherman, who's 2 down through 4.
Hole 2 is a par 3. You can go the way the drone is flying inside of that Mando tree, or you can go outside and around on the left side. It's a low ceiling, so you just got to keep it low and punchy. That OB comes into play really quickly on the backhand turnover. Congrats to the JomezPro Patreon winner.
I saw the name earlier. I'm going to go. The last name's
Herman. Patrick Herman.
Patrick Herman.
You did it.
Wow, good job.
We saw that you did it.
And a lovely name you have.
You get a disc. Thanks for being a Patreon subscriber. We really appreciate you. We're just generally bad at names.
And this job sometimes.
Cat Mertsch gonna find that center tree. That hyzer flip game is very touchy. It's how she gets her disc to go so far.
Yeah, this calls for more of a flex. Like Owen likes to throw towards that out of bounds and then swinging in. And what a great shot. Owen able to do this 2 days in a row.
It was a headwind today, so it's scary to throw that flex shot. You really have to trust your discs.
Missy going to show us the backhand line. Quite a narrow gap here. And she does catch that right side tree, but stays in bounds short.
Paige lining up the sidearm as well.
A much more open play for sure. Smooth shot. Get a skip.
Yeah, get some good distance. She'll be in circle 2 with a putt. This played is the third easiest hole of the day, largely due in part to just a lack of bogeys. It's not necessarily an easy one to birdie by any means, although a third of the field got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, yeah. And it's pretty easy to save par. I mean, that's about as far back as you're ever going to be. Cat able to just throw a little forehand up there. Actually, kind of a big forehand. Missy with a fierce, putting it just outside the bullseye, no problem. Paige for a birdie.
There was a good amount of circle 2 putts made on this hole because only 12 competitors got to circle 1. There were 16 birdies.
Ooh, Cat sneaks it in there right side for a par. Owen with some green on her scorecard. Nice stable destroyer off the tee. This hole feels like it was designed for Owen.
It sure does. Seems like a lot of holes on tour are designed for Owen.
Almost all of them. It's weird.
Owen gonna walk away with the only birdie on our lead card today. And just like she predicted, Chase card is making some moves as well, birdieing holes 2 and 3. We saw Emily Weatherman and Sophia. Holland Hanley climbing up the leaderboard as well. 5 spots, 4 down through 6.
Wow. Hole 3, another par 3, 332, very reachable. There is a mandatory here and some low-hanging branches that you want to either go under or swing all the way around. You want to come in on a nice hyzer angle after all these stumps and that final tree and get a skip into the circle. This is one where if you're not at least in circle 2, you're pretty upset at your effort.
Owen trying to go low linear route, leaves it a little higher than you want. She's going to be tangled up in those middle trees. It can be tricky to get up and down on occasion.
It's always funny to see how many limbs sprinkle the floor.
Yeah.
like so many people have hit them.
Cat going out and around with the hyzer play. I like this. She's got enough distance to go around all the low-hanging trees. It's not something that everyone can do.
More than enough distance. She's actually past it. Missy trying to work the flex here. Wow, not really a play that I've seen, but it almost worked.
Paige going a bit lower, coming in, hoping to get some ground play, and she does.
That's a great shot. Just a step inside the circle, a little deep. So nice to be able to go out and around those limbs.
I don't know why I feel like the stats would be flip-flopped here. There would be more birdies on 3 than on 2. There's only 9 on hole 3, while there were 16 on hole 2.
Maybe more people are getting the forehand going on hole 2. Cat just outside the circle. Leaves it very short and low right.
I guess this basket being elevated is tricky because the same amount of people got to circle 1 in regulation.
Oh, okay.
Paige making good on that elevated basket, though.
You could see, too, there's a little bit of wind here. So anytime you're putting at the elevated basket, nose up, it can mess with you. Paige with a great putt to get her first birdie of the day.
And 3 pars in a row. It's always going to be considered good on the West Course.
See, it doesn't feel great when your card mates are getting some birdies, though.
Yeah.
So hard to be patient.
Look at Rebecca Cox right now, 2 down through 9.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at PowerDGA.com.
Hole 4, a very technical 485 feet. Most players are going to lay up right in this area. You can go on top in the flat or right below that. The cart path is safe, but you do not want to land on the little slant that meets between those two surfaces because it makes for some tricky footing, and you want to have a nice firm footing for this teeny tiny green, only about 25 feet wide from the water's edge up to an out of bounds golf green. From the landing zone, it's probably 240-ish, depending on where you land.
Agree with that. Paige looks like she's going to get all the way down to the cart path, which is nice to have that solid footing, as Mad was saying. Perfect shot from Owen as well. Probably the only shot on the entire course where you're not throwing as hard as you possibly can.
Legit. When I'm drawing off my mid-range after the shot, I'm like, well, that's the last time I see you today.
Goodbye, old friend. Kat leaves it kind of more right than a lot of players go, but it looks like that might be her gameplay.
Missy with a nice little hyzer flip up the middle. She gets over the slant for the most part. This is a hole that in years past has felt so difficult. But for some reason this year, I guess because all the courses are getting harder, it doesn't feel as bad. Kat showing us how to play the hole perfectly. Again, inside the bullseye for birdie.
Yeah, it is a tough second shot, but we're definitely being conditioned for this to be normal.
Yeah.
Oh, a green smaller than the actual size of the circle with danger everywhere. Yawn.
Yeah.
Throw a putter mid-range up there.
I could do this in my sleep, and I will when my tee time's at 7:58.
Missy and Kat put it nice and close. Let's see. Own. She's going to swing it out wider over the water. Is that a destroyer?
Oh, my gosh.
Sure seems like it.
It does.
Different kind of game. Paige going standstill putter. Crystal Fierce. Ooh. Oh.
Oh,
that
man.
barely trickled out.
Yeah, it definitely crossed right next to where it was. We'll see what the card decides.
Tough break, but Paige is close to save the par. And it really looked like it was just going to spin and stay in bounds.
Yeah, it was
just
weird. It
barely
got like,
slid.
It got like a backspin. Oh, man, that's a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
This whole average at almost exactly even par. 30% of the field taking a birdie and 30 taking a bogey or worse. Own gonna be one of those birdies.
Cat also in there.
Yep, they are 2 of 14 birdies on the day out of 48 competitors.
I feel like Cat's follow through on the putt is some sort of karate move.
Yeah,
Some sort of
she's picked that up in the last month or so.
self-defense kick. I'm intimidated.
There needs to be a sound effect.
Yeah. Thank you.
Desperately.
Mm-hmm. Missy also in for a short birdie. Paige unfortunately going to card the bogey there, move back to even par. Wow, Holland 5 down through 7.
Oh, 4 down, 4 down.
Oh, 4 down. Sorry. Okay. The
I did that too.
flip-flopped
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Still crazy.
It's still
still very good.
That's wild.
Hole 5 is a par 3, 375 feet. There's a mandatory on the right. Quite a few guardian trees in this gap here. The way to get there is, I'm going to say unclear. You need to throw a turning shot that carries over to the right. This green is pretty guarded. It plays farther than 375 because you kind of have to throw up and over a hill and hit a fairly tight gap. You're not going to get a flex line there. You have to go full turnover or maybe a sidearm. Most ladies going to kind of bail out a little bit on the left side and just pitch up for par. We'll probably see some long looks here. Ella was able to get to circle 2 yesterday. There was very few birdies yesterday.
Yeah, I think the safest play here is just to throw something as straight as possible and land in circle 2. But you are on the high side of the hill when you do that play, and it makes for pretty sketchy putts.
Mm-hmm.
Kat doing the hyzer flip, turning play.
Really attacking.
Yeah, making it past the Mando, but she'll be on level ground with the basket instead of putting down at it.
Missy with too much turn. Unclear if she fully missed the Mando or if she's short of it.
If you go that far right of the Mando, you're like, please miss it.
Yeah, it's horrible over there.
It's tough to recover.
And that's one reason you don't see more women attacking this one, because that's a real risk, missing that mandatory, trying to get aggressive.
There was a little bit of wind coming up and over this hill. You can see Paige a little surprised by that turn she got on her disc. Missy did not miss the Mando, trying to work a roller.
Honestly, pretty dang good. Especially with that drop zone sign right there.
Paige makes good with her up and down inside the bullseye. Such a scary little shot. Perfect, huge guardian trees placed on this green.
Yeah, that one just to the right, I think, of the pin. Now on the left is like just perfectly placed. Just right in the way.
Missy throwing 3. Giving it a run.
Yeah, she is.
This was the 3rd most difficult hole of the day, and that is just from lack of birdies.
Here's one of the few attempts of the day. Cat hitting metal, and she tells it to sit.
There were 3 birdies today. Violet Main, Allie Smith, and Ella Hansen. I saw Ella Hansen make a putt from circle 2 high side, just like yesterday.
Missy gonna card the bogey there with that not quite missed mandatory, but might as well be. And everyone else gonna clean up their pars here. checking in with Holland Hanley, who's 4 down, as we said. We're on hole 8, downhill par 4, 698. That's a massive shot. It's really nice to be on the right side of this one. Really opens up the second shot.
That's an example of overpowering the hole. A lot of players we see working that left side, but Holland going huge right, taking away all obstacles and making a big putt.
Yeah, she actually goes pretty deep on that upshot, but cans it for a turkey. Now is 5 down because math. Owen still leading the way here. Holland Hanley moving up in a tie for third with Sophia, who is 3 down through 7.
Hole 6, another par 5. It's 908 feet. This tee shot is downhill through all of those big trees, but it's hard to get big distance. You just want to make sure you hit the gap. Your second shot ideally is landing somewhere at the base of this hill, or if you're one of the big arms, you're getting up onto this hill. Your third shot is hopefully getting on the green, but most of us are getting ourselves maybe into circle 2 with a long look, maybe circle 3 with a little bit of an approach left. Just depends on how far you get off the tee. I like Owen's choice of sidearm here. She's got a huge distance on that shot. It's also nice and safe. You don't have to worry about the big trees.
Yeah, and she's out there nicely.
Kat with her normal hyzer flip game, just smoking a disc all the way almost up into the flat.
Huge. Paige did get this one yesterday, it looks like. She's flipping something up pretty nicely, getting a little bit of fade, also a big shot.
Yeah, I like the straight pushing nature of that shot. There's no reason that you need to go over to the right. You can work your way up the left. No problem.
Plenty of room for everybody. And we did watch Missy get this one as well. She birdied it yesterday, and that's a big shot too.
There's just that one little flat area. It's got a slope all the way around. You hopefully want to avoid it so you can go huge on your second.
This is a pretty typical landing zone for the majority of the field.
Kat dealing with that little bit of a slope. It's not stopping her from attacking, though.
Yeah, you can definitely see it was a little awkward. Probably still a little bit wet and slippery.
Heading
Great
towards
shot.
that out of bounds line, but it checks up, and she is safe and way up the hill.
Yeah.
Big arm Missy.
No kidding. Pretty much the same play as yesterday. She is just barely starting to go up the hill.
Paige with a distance shot. Just absolutely crushes that disc way up the hill.
Huge shot. Crazy that Owen had the hot round yesterday, but this is what's typical. Mm-hmm. And this is like Owen's probably not going to get this one.
She'd have to make a putt from 100 feet uphill. Missy pushing towards that Mando side, but she is good for circle 1. Kat Mertsch so close.
Yeah.
This is blowing my mind.
Like she could think about giving this a little run.
And she does.
Yeah, she does. Little run ski.
Love that little hyzer spike into the bullseye. Only 11 people got to circle 1 in regulation.
Yeah, they're making this look so easy. Paige with just the tiniest little run up. Leaves it just a touch short. She's inside the circle, but be nice to be parked, obviously. Owen approaching with her pig now. Missy for birdie. It's Paige.
Missing putts on Glendoveer West hurts because there's not a lot of birdie looks out here.
And it's so much work to get the look. Paige makes good for her birdie putt there. Really nicely done. Owen with a solid par, and Kat with essentially a tap in, not statistically a tap in.
Paige and Kat, 2 of only 7 birdies on the day today.
Kat gonna tie Owen once again.
Yeah, sure.
Hole 7's a par 3, 308 feet. A new short pin to the left of where we were last year. There are hazard bunkers everywhere. You can't really see this one that's just to the left of the pin. That's, what, maybe 15 feet away. You see a lot of slower speed straight shots. You see some sidearms. You see some out and to the rights and kind of fade in. You see all sorts of things. I think this is a great change. It's nice to be able to see the basket.
It still requires such a skilled shot, super scary. And if you play on the safe side, like we see Kat not attacking as aggressively, she's going to have a circle's edge putt back towards that out of bounds bunker.
Dangerous.
I love having this little short technical hole in the middle of the bomber course that is Glendoveer West.
Me too. Downhill. Easy. I mean, it's not easy. It's just not far.
Mm-hmm. It's cool that it gives you the option to attack off the tee.
And potentially with a slow speed disc. Owen working that kind of right side flex shot around the tree. Feels like a safer play, but is hard to get it inside the circle. I think she's just on the edge. That's a good shot.
Missy's so good at these technical shots. Not afraid of the out of bounds.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
So smooth. Yeah, let's please see that again.
Just the absolute purest line ever. Perfect height. Skips right up into the bullseye.
So controlled.
Paige decides just to lay up, not a battle that needs to be fought right now.
She looks bummed about it, though.
Yeah.
Owen fighting that battle. Hits cage, but sits.
We saw Owen ramp off the basket into the OB yesterday. And that's just kind of a decision that you make when you go for this shot.
Mm-hmm. Kat looks like she's lining this one up.
Nice.
And she's in. Wow. All right. 4 down.
Really smooth putting stroke there.
And takes the solo lead over Owen with that one.
We love a tap in on hole 7. There were 17 birdies on the day today. Still not the easiest hole. Huh.
But hopefully the most appreciated. I love that change.
Let's do a chase card check-in with Sophia Dunica.
She's coming off a turkey here. 4 down so far. Wow, beautiful straight shot. Did you know that last week at OTB was her first Disc Golf Pro Tour event? Oh. This is her second. And there she's getting 4 birdies in a row.
She had a really strong showing last year at Throw Pink at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But I guess that is the first big event that I had met her at. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And not technically a Pro Tour event.
But bigger
yeah.
event.
Yeah.
Just out the gate.
Yeah, check it out. Fire emoji. She's doing it, folks.
Hole 8, another par 4. It's 698 feet. The first shot is a huge downhill shot. You have to make a decision. We watched Holland play this earlier. Do you want to go left, shorten the hole a little bit, but force yourself to go through this gap over the MPO basket? Or do you want to go out to the right, take all of these trees out of play, but have a little bit more of a distance shot to the green for birdie? It's up to you to decide. All options are good. We had a bit of a headwind today.
That fact was courtesy of Statmando. I don't just know things.
We know nothing here in the booth.
We just honk. Wow, look at this shot.
We say wow, too. We're so good at that.
Wow, honk. That was massive.
Honk. Wow.
Star Wraith from Cat. Honking wow.
Missy trying to flex a shot down that wind, not letting it fight all the way out. She's going to have some work to do on shot number 2. This plate is the second easiest hole of the day. I have a feeling they're going to add an out of bounds line in on the right side next year. I feel like that's coming.
Would be surprised if they didn't. Paige with an absolute bomb. Going farther than Cat's.
Oh, circle 2
Circle
of the
2 of the MPO.
Okay. Yeah, that tassel.
Which is an impressive shot. That's really far.
It is
a very
really
difficult
far.
MPO hole.
Yeah, I think it's 530-ish feet to the men's hole, so Paige just dropped a bomb.
Oh, and also with a good shot, that stable blue destroyer she has. Going sidearm through the gap here instead of out and around to the right. Fascinating.
And very
so
good.
good.
Very good. Yep. Right at the base.
Oh, wow, honk.
Missy, I'm not sure how far away she is, but probably in the 360-foot range, if I had to guess, maybe 375.
Definitely a full rip. Excellent. Wish we got a good shot of the gallery because it was massive for a Friday.
It was. It was
Really?
awesome.
Mm-hmm. Cat Mertsch pretty close here, dealing with that one stump just a little bit, but that's going to be another bullseye for a turkey.
It's a good week to come out and watch disc golf. This is a good ticket package to buy. You get 4 days instead of the typical 3. Paige with a little bit of a tree issue to deal with, but she gets around, no problem. There were 21 birdies in the field today, 44% of our 48 competitors.
Missy in first for her birdie. Lead card making easy work of this one. Looking like our first star frame of the tournament.
Heck yeah. That's $25 to Edge. We're donating money and we get to watch some good disc golf.
That's a nice little jingle. Who doesn't love that? Tell me who.
Say it to her face.
Yeah. Cat still leading the way.
And tying right now, Sophia with that 5 down hot round. Rebecca Cox also working her way up the leaderboard as well.
Hole 9's a par 3, a very difficult 300 feet. You can see the double mandatory there, a very straight shot like we saw Sophia throw, or you can work a flex line out to the right. There is kind of a bailout play to the left too that'll leave you with a circle 2 look. It's low ceiling and tight. Pretty difficult hole to park anyway.
Cat working a flex line up the middle. That is great.
Oh, yeah. boy, did that disc listen. She really pointed with authority there.
She sure did. The loudest point I ever heard.
If she pointed at me like that, I would immediately dart that direction.
Missy parked this one yesterday. Similar line today, not quite as much turn. She's still going to have a putt, though, from circle 1.
That's that kind of mild bailout play to the left I was talking about. I think that's probably the best mistake to make.
Yeah, you can see that little shrug that Missy did when it started to bail out more than she wanted. That's kind of like I feel like that's the Glendoveer West par 3 reaction. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, I bailed out left? Cool. That's fine.
Paige with a bit of a grip lock. She catches a tree but makes both mandatories, which is good because it is a re-tee if you miss. And Own, is she circle 2?
I think so. Right on the edge,
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
Solid shot.
Paige thankfully does have a gap.
Oh, she goes out and around.
I like that.
Very nice. Takes the trees right out of it.
Yeah, sometimes getting caught up early can be brutal on these holes.
Own with a longer look. A little bit of a tree to contend with here. Oh, yes.
Man. Her putts just look like they're running out of steam, but then they're not.
They never do. They just wobble for eternity.
Not until they find the chains.
Great way to wrap up the front 9. 4 down.
Bogey free.
Bogey free.
It's so impressive out here.
Nice, Missy.
Not to be big putted.
Never. Missy moving to 3 down now. And Own 7 down yesterday was the best we've seen. Last year, 9 down was the best we saw at this course. And I would say it's playing probably a stroke easier, maybe 2.
That's going to bring Mertsch to 6 down, bogey free on the front 9.
With a dark-eyed Junko. The regional bird
is.
we chose for 4 birdies in a row.
Yes, we did. A black widow and a dark-eyed Junko. Talk about a poem that needs to be written. Hole 9 had 16 birdies. And what a fun way to wrap up the front. The back 9, not as fun.
We don't have to talk about that yet. Let's talk about Mertsch shooting 6 down through 9, taking the solo lead 1 stroke ahead of Own. Sophia Dunica is, 5 down through 10, moving into a tie for 3rd with Missy Gannon, who got that turkey to move to 3 down. Lots of numbers happening here. Rebecca Cox, 6 down.
Emily Weatherman and Sophia both just anomalies just springing onto the scene and doing amazing.
Yeah.
We love to see it. But also,
cool.
Who are you guys?
Yeah, tell us. I don't know you.
How'd you get like this? Looks like to be in the top 20, you got to be under par. This is round 2 of 4. There is a cut after the 3rd round at Glendoveer East. But we only have 9 more holes at West, so enjoy them. Come hang with us. Thanks again to the Founders Club. We'll see you guys on the back. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Huckies.
Honk.
Honk.